appointed a young boy to look after our young boy, I call him, a young adult, a young boy his name is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. He looks after our aviation business. The aviation business is an auxiliary business. It's a support business to Wilderness, as in moving our guests to and from our camps and supplies and stuff to and from our camps. But it's the bloodline of our business. If we can't get guests in at a reasonable time, it's very difficult. So we've got a young Botswana boy running this business, flying more passengers than even the national carrier does per day. We have more flights per day than the national carrier, just as a small outfit that's just moving guests from our own offices or the Kasane airport into our camps. And it runs seamlessly. And the boy is doing a fantastic job, and we're very proud of him. And this, for me, is just a further demonstration that the leadership within our organization is evolving. And more of it, you're finding that those Banabarona are now taking up these roles. And the pilots, by the vast majority, Botswana, and the maintenance side, Botswana, we're very proud of them. And this is, for me, a really good achievement. You know, in the last 10 years, we've had 2,700 kids participating in eco clubs across Botswana. You know, that's a significant number. If you think of a school with a final year of my standard 7, for instance, with 90 children, say, we're talking 270 kids per year over a 10-year period attending our product right across, primarily around the Ngami area. But there are some schools in southern Botswana that we participate with. Now, what an eco club is, what we're trying to do is get young people to really engage with conservation from a very early age, a young age. Because if you know, their minds are still open to the idea that, you know, they're open to thinking about conservation. The success of this is for me evident when I look at pilots who are young children who attended these eco clubs 10 years ago, watching the plane taking off from the Maung airport, wondering, how would I possibly ever be in that plane, let alone flying that plane? Now some of our pilots come from this project. We've got some camp managers and leaders in our organization, guides that came through these projects. So for us, this is, again, one of those long-term plans that if you engage with young people at an early enough age, you can really change the livelihoods of our own young Botswana. Wilderness Botswana employs over 1,100 people. Of that, 97% of them are Botswana. In the last 10 years, Wilderness has paid to staff, as in salaries, 1 billion pula. That's like over 100 million per year. In capital investment in the last 10 years, we have invested within our organization 640 million pula in terms of rebuilding of our lodges. Again, over 10 years, it's well over 60 to 70 million annually is being spent. An interesting one is we've spent 1.8 billion pula in third-party products. Now what that is when a guest arrives in Gaborone, they're not staying at a wilderness camp, they're staying at one of the many competitors we have in the city. When we are selling them a ticket, we will sell them one of those tickets from our competitors as well, so that our competitors are benefiting. So the wilderness, this is that value chain discussion, that the fact that we've got lodges in the Delta doesn't mean that the rest of the tourism industry doesn't benefit, because the likes of our competitors in Kasane, the likes of our competitors in Gaborone are benefiting to the tune of 1.8 billion pula. That's 180 million pula per year. So if you look at their balance sheets or their trades, just see if you can find the wilderness contribution to their businesses. I think the reset agenda narrative is a phenomenally clever approach, because we need it now more than ever before. We just simply need to stop thinking about our past successes if we want to succeed in the future. We've got to rethink things all the time. And we as a business are changing. I think it's clear for all. If you just looked at our business just 5 years ago, look at us today. The leadership roles are changing, the structures are changing, the guest profiles are changing, the staff profiles, our suppliers are changing. 95% of everything we procure is procured within Botswana. And we're hoping to get to 100%. We're not in the business of having to ship everything from all over the world. What we would hope to do is get products and get supplies from people down the road. It's just simpler. I don't have to store everything. I don't have to carry large stocks. I don't have the hassle of customs and immigration and shipping and moving things. It's a lot easier just to be able to go down the road and procure. That is value chain production. The thing about it is, if that's truly to work, local suppliers need to up their game. That is where mindset change comes in. We can't just sit here and say, I'm a local business, give me business. You must say, I'm a local business, but I'm also the best business. That is something we must all strive to do. Wilderness believes it's the best business in its space, and we also expect our suppliers to be the very best, as we expect the staff that we hire to be the very best, and we're looking for the very best customers. We're all looking for number one. And I think that's what mindset change talks to, that we must all sit back and say, how can I be better? And by us being better, we lift everything. The idea of lifting the water so all the ships can come up. And that for us is why we think the principle of saying, let's just rethink. That's a mindset change. And 𝗪𝗜𝗟𝗏 as a business, right change, and proudly so. There's just so, the people that I have to give most gratitude for is the communities that we work within. We would not be able to look after those if they didn't trust us enough to say partner with us to look after these conservation areas and give us a good livelihood. Make it commercially viable enough that we don't have to make it into farmland. We can make it into something that is protecting future flora and fauna and gives us enough income and monies to be able to develop our communities. So for us, we have to thank our communities first. Botswana, generally. Botswana and the policies of this country are the reason these things work. Why the world comes to benchmark here. I find it crazy that we still send people to go benchmark conservation and tourism things anywhere. Come to Botswana. Well, literally, you don't have to go far. Go to the Delta and see what those organizations are doing. And we believe we have set the tone. We're the vanguards of responsible hospitality in sensitive conservation areas. Come and learn from us. Let us teach, let us be taught, let us work together. I have to thank everybody who forms some part of that chain, from policy to community leader to our employees. We can't do this thing without people. And people looking after the very things that make this country such a special place, our environment.